everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. I've been a bit on a press-on nail kick because they take less time and because I always feel like I'm not very good with glue-on nails. I'm okay with the ones that have the little sticky tabs, especially if the sticky tab is already attached to the nail, like the Dashing Diva Magic Press, but I'm just not very good with the nails where you need to apply the glue. And because I'm a perfectionist, I kind of want to be better at it. Plus, there are just so many different brands and designs, and the price points a lot of the times are good. So today I'll be trying this Hansen Salon Effects Perfect Manicure. This was not gifted, this was not sponsored, I bought this with my own money. I'll put links to everything I'm using in the description box. The reason that I chose to do press-on nails this time is because I just had press-on nails last week, and they stayed on for about a week, but then yesterday the thumb started to come off, so I soaked them in warm water with olive oil to remove them. I see a lot of advice online to do warm or hot water, olive oil, and Dawn dish soap or some kind of soap, but because I've been having some hand eczema, I didn't want to do the soap. I tried to do it with just oil and water, and that worked pretty well actually. I still have some leftover glue here, and the reason I chose not to remove it is because I am going to be roughing up the surface of the nail today anyway. That will take off the rest of the glue. Pretty standard setup here. We get some nails, the little glue applicator thing. I am terrible with these. Maybe someday. I use brush-on nail glue. And then it has these little sticky tabs that you can use instead of the glue, but I hate using these when they're separate from the nails like that because it's double the work. You have to find your nail size, then you have to match that size to the sticky tabs. And yes, they are numbered, but still you have to locate the correct sticky tab, put that on the nail, and then put the fake nail over it. It does make for slightly easier removal, and it is a better way to do nails if you're going to try and reuse the nails. But I'm never successful at reusing the nails because they just show wear by the time that I've worn them for a week, and I don't want to put them on again because they don't look fresh anymore. There's also a little cleanser pad here as well. Prep is key. I typically show in my nail videos this little tool. It's a metal cuticle pusher. I usually just push my cuticles back and do it on camera, or at least show a couple of them. Today I use Hansen cuticle remover. I do that upstairs because you basically squeeze it on your cuticles, wait for 15 seconds, push them back, and then wash it off with soapy warm water. I can't tell that it's superior to pushing them back or anything, but I thought I'd try it. I've just seen that product recommended a lot, but I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't have access to soap and water here downstairs. Since the cuticle is already taken care of, I'm going to now rough up the nail slash take off some of this leftover glue. And I have to be careful here because my nails are already not the best, they're not the strongest, they're not the thickest. So I don't want to thin them out necessarily. I just want to create a grippy surface for the nail and the glue. I did this the last time with press-on nails. I was using the First Class Beauty brand, which is $30. That video is up on the channel by now, so you can go check it out. $30 is a lot. I really wanted them to work well for me, so I did all of the recommended steps. I roughed it up and everything and used glue instead of the tabs. They lasted from about midday on Sunday until the very end of the day the following Saturday, so 7 days if you want to count Sunday as day one. That's pretty good for me because after 7 days I show wear. The stickers, the semi-cured stickers or the fully cured stickers like Dashing Diva, Ahora, Nail Log, those typically last closer to 2 weeks for me, but they also take longer to apply, so it's a bit of a trade-off. My absolutely least favorite part is playing match the nail size game. I always pick out all the nail sizes that I'm going to need and arrange them in order of application, but because this is a brand new to me brand, I really have no idea what I need. I'm not trimming my nails any because I want as much of the surface area for gripping and for the application of the glue, and having a little bit extra length helps with that, but my plan is after this set, I will remove them and then cut the nails and kind of let them rehydrate and let them recover a little bit before doing any more nails. This feels too wide. My way of matching these is I put them on gently, but then I press down like I would when I'm applying them, and they always spread a little bit. And on this one, I feel how much it's pushing against my skin here on the side, so I know that this is too wide. Now that I know that this is size 4, it's marked here, I know that I need a smaller size. And typically nails are numbered with the lowest number as being the biggest size. So 0 will be the biggest size, and let's say 10 or 11 will be the smallest size. So I know I need like 5, 6, 7, or 8 here, not 4. The nails are arranged in the order of application off camera. This is the tiniest little prep pad known to man. Oh my gosh, this is really, really, really flimsy and basically see-through, but fine. You can also just use an alcohol prep pad. I get mine in really large quantities at Costco. You can also use a nail dehydrator like acetone or brush-on alcohol product. Some brands carry those or sell them specifically as a nail dehydrator, but from my experience, nail dehydrator is really not any different or better than rubbing alcohol, and it's not my goal to keep these on for 3 weeks. I'm happy with about a week and a half from press-ons. Another tip I see as far as glue-on nails online is to rough up this side. Anything that is going to touch your nail, rough that up. The best tool to do that is a little nail drill bit looking thing. I do not have one, and I'm not convinced that I'll be doing press-ons enough to buy one right now. I know that you can get them fairly inexpensively because I don't need anything fancy. I'm not actually going to do acrylic nails with them or anything like that, but I'm just not convinced I need yet another thing to store in my house, and so I'm holding off. In general, I do like the ease of press-ons, but my favorite ones are the Dashing Diva Magic Press. Non-sponsored. They have never, ever, ever sent me any PR of any kind. I do have an affiliate link with them, but they've never given me anything. And I've never done a sponsored anything for Dashing Diva. I just really like them. They're just so simple to use. And they still last 7 to 10 days on me without having to deal with glue. And I just really like them. So for them, I don't need the little drill thingy. I'm using Vetitinda brand nail glue because it came with Vetitinda press-on nails. I put on a good amount, and typically I don't put any on the nail itself, but maybe I'll try this time. In the past, I've just made a mess trying to do that. So, I don't know. I put a drop in here. Let's just see. You do have to work a little bit fast with these things. They do set it down close to the cuticle. Make sure it's on straight. Push hard, but not so hard that nail glue is spilling out of the sides. Try to keep even pressure. Once you start pressing, do not lift your thumb. Do not rock it back and forth because you can introduce air bubbles in there. Just hold it down and do your best to kind of apply even pressure without squeezing too hard. The brand recommends at least 30 seconds of pressure per nail. I used to do my entire left hand, then do my entire right hand, but then one of you recommended instead going pinky, pinky, ring finger, because that keeps your thumbs and forefingers, or your thumbs and index fingers, free of nails for the longest time, and that kind of makes it easier to apply pressure when you don't have a press-on nail. So I've been doing that and I like that, but it's a conscious effort for me to remember to do that because I'm so used to doing it an entire hand at a time. I will say that these nails, these Sally Hansen ones, are a lot thinner plastic than the other press-ons that I've tried. And it's not like I've tried every single press-on out there, but I have tried quite a few. I've tried Vetitinda, I tried First Class Beauty, I've had the Dashing Diva, I've had Static Nails, and I've had Olive and June. And these ones feel like they are the thinnest out of all of them, and not just at the cuticle side, but also at the end. So I'm not really sure how well these will hold up because they're so much longer than my natural nail, and I have a feeling that I might snap one. I will keep you updated. I usually leave an update in the pinned comment after publishing the nail video, but I also post these to my stories on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit. I have a nails highlight there that you can check out. When I was trying these on, when I was picking the sizes, I noticed that because these are an almond shape, which is not typically what I go for, but because these are almond shape, they sometimes are more narrow than the length of my nail. So I did have to trim a couple of my nails, just make them a tiny bit more narrow here at the top. Otherwise they were going to stick out. They're wider than these press-ons. But again, I didn't want to just totally cut them and make them shorter because I want to give these nails a fair chance and as much of a gripping surface as I can. I went ahead and applied the rest of the nails, but I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, each one of them has a small imperfection on the tip. That's probably from the manufacturing process where they're joined together. Most of the time with other brands, I'm used to seeing a slight extra little bit that you easily file off. However, some of these almost have that little bit indented, which makes it harder to fix, because now not only do you have to just file off like that tiny piece, but you have to make sure that it's all smooth across. It's not too bad. None of them have huge indentations, but still the indentation to me is a little bit more concerning than if there was a little extra bit of plastic. But in general, I don't understand why brands can't perfect their manufacturing process to where this doesn't happen. Especially this one on the thumb. And I think you can see that against my black background here on my table. It looks like somebody took a little bite out of it. I didn't even bother unpacking their tiny filing thing because it's just very, very, very small. It's very small. It would be okay in a pinch, but I definitely prefer slightly longer ones. Another aspect worth pointing out is because of the shape of these, because it's an almond shape and it's wider on the bottom and then kind of narrows toward the top, you can still see my natural nail on the side here, even though I did kind of trim them a little bit or made them a little bit more narrow. It's a simple fix with a coarse grit file. Just be careful, be very mindful of where the rest of your nails are when you're using coarse grit files that have two sides like mine does, because it's very easy to accidentally take the other side to one of your good nails and just completely destroy the finish. I'd say this is the final look. I'll see how they wear, but honestly, for me, this is a no. I do like the design, I like the color. They didn't have that many choices when I was shopping, so I did pick the one that I liked. Like I said, I paid with my own money for this. But what I don't like is how flimsy they feel. And listen to this when I apply a little bit of pressure on this. Do you hear how that sounds? It sounds so flimsy, like cheap little plastic. Hear that? I think like a couple car seat buckles and a couple times putting braces on my son's feet, and these things will probably not survive the week. I don't know, I'll try to be careful, but I'm not very precious with my hands because I have a lot of things that I need to get done. Forget like putting furniture together or using any sort of tools or anything like that, because I feel like these are just not that good as far as thickness. The ones that I've used so far, they've been nice and sturdy. Yes, they will be thinner toward the cuticle side so that they lay more flush to the nail, but then they would be significantly thicker and just better feeling toward the tips. And these ones are a bit thicker on the tips than they are the cuticle, and I do love how they look at the cuticle line. I was able to get them really close and they look very much flush with the skin. They don't look like I just glued big, thick pieces of plastic to my hands, to my nails, especially this thumb. Look at that. This looks really, really good. I got it very close to the skin and I picked the right size for my nail. But this flimsy sounding, I mean, I can click them on my table, but it just feels like they're fairly breakable, to be honest. So we'll see how they wear, because that's really the ultimate test. There have been plenty of times in the past where I put something on and I loved it, and then 2 days later it fell off. So we'll see. These are not the worst press-ons I've ever tried. The absolute worst, I think, were Olive and June. Those things were horrendous, and I have a video on that if you want to see. I'll also be putting together a nail ranking for press-on nails, a video, and an updated nail ranking for the stickers as well. I'm still working on that. There are a couple of brands that I wanted to test out before I do those videos. So just be patient. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and that way you don't miss it. But you can check out a lot of other videos, a lot of other brands in my nails playlist. There's tons and tons in there. And as always, if you have suggestions on what other nails I should try, please let me know, because sometimes I learn about really cool brands from you guys. So thank you very much for joining me today. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group Korean Beauty Fanatics. Hope to see you in my next video, and until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.